Arizona Business Spotlight. So good to see you again. I hope you have your pen and paper ready because we have a lot of information. This is a show about entrepreneurship, innovation, running your own business, social media, traditional media, all that good stuff. You don't want to go anywhere. We have a great show today. We have JPS Paint Center is here today, along with Emmanuel Fellowship. We're going to be talking about God's business and getting your home spruced up with a fresh coat of paint. Everyone's getting their income tax refunds. You want to know how to spend that money? Ken from JPS Paint Center is here. He's going to be talking to us all about that, so don't go anywhere. I want to thank our sponsor, Orkin. They're the experts, of course, the science and how to control bugs. I want to thank them for supporting and sponsoring Arizona Business Spotlight. We'll be back with more information. Don't go anywhere. Arizona Business Spotlight right here on Verde Valley TV.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Arizona Business Spotlight. I'm Helen Gibson. You're watching Verde Valley TV. So glad that you joined us today. All right, joining me right now in studio, JPS Paint Center owner, operator, Ken Camps. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you.
You know, I was talking at the beginning of the show about people are getting their tax refunds, and a lot of folks are wondering, well, what should I spend it on? It's all about spring cleaning. So I say get some paint and paint your house.
And it's a good time of year to do that. People ask us, when is the best time of year? And really, paint is a pretty amazing coating if you think about it. You take a very thin film of material, put it over your interior or exterior wall, and expect it to last a very long time. So the conditions that you paint under, the temperatures, the cleanliness of the application, all make a really big difference. And we try to help people through that process.
And you help them through that process with excellence. You've been in business now 23 years. So right here in Cottonwood.
Right here in Cottonwood.
Benjamin Moore Paints.
Benjamin Moore Paint.
Are now available.
Yep.
So give us a little bit of the process that you take your customers through when they come in and they say, Ken, you know, it's time for us to do an exterior coat or an interior coat of paint. What would you walk them through?
Well, we first want to really listen to our customer and see not only what their need is, what the condition of their surface is, but also what's in their budget. There are different qualities of paint out there. We try to present all the options and say, here's good, better, best. Help them understand the surface conditions that are going to set them up for success. If it's exterior, we'll talk about temperatures. Temperatures are really important. Paint loves to be put on between 60 degrees and 100 degrees. And you say, well, that's a big span, and it really is. But there's some easy ways and guidelines, especially for exterior. Your hand is 98.7. So if it's uncomfortable for your hand, it's too hot to paint. Wow. For the paint to coalesce, which means go from a liquid to a solid correctly on that surface. So so we encourage people during the summer to kind of follow the shade around the house. If it's during the winter, the colder times of the year, there are some parts of the house you shouldn't be painting the outside of at all.
So maybe do the interior painting in the heat of the summer and the cold of winter, and now's the time.
Now's the time.
Now's the time for exterior.
Yes.
That's the whole point. And there's something about paint that people don't realize. I've painted the exterior of my home before and it started flaking. Mm-hmm. So what is something that we can do as far as to make sure we're getting a good quality paint?
Well, a lot of the flaking or adhesion problems really have to do with that first preparation. And let's face it, that's the part nobody really wants to do. Putting on the paint doesn't take much time at all, but really getting the surfaces clean and sound for that paint to go to, and then making sure they're at the right temperature and time of day to be able to dry and adhere to that surface correctly is really important. Quality makes a difference, but even the best paint put on wrong is not going to give you the best results. So it's about surface temperature, it's about surface preparation, and then application.
Now, I've been into JPS Paint Center, and you really are the center for paints here in town, and you have every color imaginable. And I love the fact that you also, if we go online to jpspaintcenter.com, if we were doing interior painting, you have sort of a simulation where you can take a room and try out different colors and trim. And
yeah, there's a color visualization tool, and it's a good tool to look at how colors compare to each other side by side. We caution people a little bit with that, in that your monitor on your computer is really not very color accurate. So it's a good tool to get an idea of color values, but to take anybody's recorded color online and saying, that's the shade of blue I'm looking for, when you pick it up off the color chart, you're probably going to see a very different color. So it's a great tool to see some contrast with, visualize some ideas, but when it really comes down to it, we need to get the right color that complements your environment, your house, your interior projects or items, or the outside where your house sits.
it's a starting point.
Absolutely.
And this is for commercial as well as residential.
Yes.
You do both.
Yes.
Interior, exterior. And when I was in the store, I picked all these up because I'm going to be painting soon. So it's definitely spring cleaning, everybody. Get your exterior first because of the temperature grades. It's very important. But when you go in, you have all this information, and Ken and all your fellow employees and workers are very knowledgeable, and they kind of walk you through and talk about texturizing or what the surface is. And I noticed that for contractors even, you have the sprayer, you have everything you need there.
Yeah, one of the things we do for contractors that isn't well known is we are an airless repair center, so if you've got equipment that needs maintenance, we do it right in-house. We don't send it out.
Done and done.
One-stop service.
Oh my goodness. So Benjamin Moore is really the big buzz around town?
It is. It's new. It's a new buzz. We have been distributing paint here, like you say, for over 20 years. Benjamin Moore is a new addition to our line. We're not getting rid of other products, but we're excited about having them on. They're very supportive of the independent dealer, and if you look at any design magazines anywhere, you'll see Benjamin Moore is the color standard in the industry, has been for years, and we're very glad to have them on board with us.
Wow, that just proves right there that you're all about quality, product, professionalism, excellence, and you do your due diligence. So you do your research in the industry to find out what's the best of the best for your customers.
We do, and we're a specialty store. We're not a box store. I don't know anything about plumbing. I don't know anything about wood. I know about paint and about the right application of that product. And it's very specialized. You don't do it very often, but you want it to go right. And I'll admit, most of my customers don't like painting. So let's get it right the first time. Let's get the best product for the best application, so you're not doing this again real soon.
You know, I was thinking about people that need heart surgery. You're going to go to the best of the best,
Absolutely.
right? And your home has a huge market value for people that may be thinking about selling their home. Curb appeal is everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So being sure to get that exterior painted and, like you said, the trim done, that can raise the market value right there.
And color is intimidating for people. One of the services we offer is a color consult. I'll come on site with our color palette, and some people, it's hard to look at that little chip that's only about that big and imagine what it's going to look like over a whole surface. It's something I do very well. I've helped a lot of people with that, and it saves just a lot of time. I mean, repainting something is very expensive, and it's a hassle. Like I say, let's help you get it right the first time.
Get it right the first time. That's what I hear, and that's a good tip for all of you that are thinking of starting a business or running your business. Get it right the first time, and if you do that, you're going to have repeat customers and referrals, and it just keeps growing.
Absolutely. Most of my, when we do our job right, unfortunately, we don't see you again real soon, but it is a part of doing our job right and looking for that referral that says, wow, this is a long-lasting effect from my house, and I'm very happy with it.
Right. And so going to some other place that may have paint, but they don't have this kind of expert, again, it's getting it done right the first time.
It's a very specialized thing.
Yes.
It's like color match. We do a lot of color match every day. That's a specialized art that it's more than just putting in a computer and saying bleep, oh, it's done. Computers get color close to what it needs to be. They don't actually match color. And it's something we work very hard at and have a reputation for.
You are an artist, and I was in JPS Paint Center the other day, and I was listening to you talk to the customers, and possibly 3 different customers came in, and each one, you, in just a few minutes, you gave such a specialized, individualized customer care to their questions. I was amazed at your expertise. From an automobile, a gentleman came in that wanted to paint for his automobile, and you talked to him about that and why you want to, automobile paint might be a little bit more expensive, but to do it right, like you said, if a rock's flying at your car at 70 miles an hour, you want to make sure that your paint doesn't
fly off.
Right.
And the products are very different. It's what I like about what I do. We're very diverse in having automotive and architectural. We talked about earlier, we do floors, provide the coatings for those applications, whether it's acid stains or epoxies. We obviously do your architectural coatings in your automotive, and it keeps me interested in what we do. It's never a dull day or rarely a repetitive question in what I do. Very diverse, but again, very specialized in that coating industry.
You're like the Michelangelo of paint centers.
Well, we like what we do, and again,
isn't that a key?
It's just creative and it's fun.
That's a key, having a passion for what you do. So were you an artist growing up and getting into the paint
No,
industry?
I really wasn't. I was an artist in a different field. I started in the automotive industry as an auto body repair person and in painting. I ran my own shop doing that. That was kind of my self-learned college experience, and then got into paint sales later. But creativity is very important for me. If I'm not doing something creative pretty much every day, I'm not very happy.
Wow.
I need that creative outlet, and paint gives me that opportunity.
So we can reach you, Ken Camps, owner of JPS Paint Center here in Cottonwood. Get it done right the first time. Your one-stop shop for painting. Consultation, the right paint, information about when to paint, everything that you need to know. 928-634-3880, that number right there on the screen, you see it, jpspaintcenter.com. Ken, is there anything that you can share with a lot of our viewers, our business owners, or people that are thinking about going into business, something that you can give them, just a little nugget of your journey owning your own business?
I would say it's not really new advice. It's advice I think wise people have given others, and that is to find something you really love to do and do it to the best of your ability. It's not about the money. Every day you go to work, you work hard. I can't imagine going to work and not enjoying what I do. To me, that's the key to success. Don't let the money be the rule. Let that happiness inside of you, using what God has given you, to the best and to the most of its ability, and you'll enjoy your life.
I love that, Ken. Thank you. And that's a good segue, because Emmanuel Fellowship is coming up next, talking about God's business.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's about enjoying what you're doing. We'll be back with more Arizona Business Spotlight in just a moment.